Welcome to the Snob Podcast.
What's going on, everybody? It's Tuesday night. Welcome back to the Snob Podcast. I'm your host, Mick Manhattan. I am so excited to be here tonight because we have a great show planned for you. We got a lot of new things for the new year. Hopefully, you guys had a great New Year's. We'd love to hear about it, but you're not going to know to talk to us about it unless you're over on our Discord. That's right. The Snob Society is alive and ready to go, formerly known as Snob Nation. We are having a great time over there. Join up. It's down in the description below in our linktree link and tons of others. So go find us. We're there. All right, guys, we're going to be talking to an old friend of mine from film school. She is killing it in the industry, and I cannot wait to hear some of the stories she has for us because I'm telling you, they're going to be pretty awesome. Producer Paul is here in tow as well. We're going to have a really good time. We're also trying out the Absurdity Wheel. We were kind of playing with this a little the other day on Mick at Night, and it's sort of become a thing. So bear with us and have some fun with it. Just join right in with the conversations, writing over there in the comments. We love having you. We really appreciate it. But yeah, coming out of the new year, we're going to get in there. James, thank you so much for joining in. Let me pull up Producer Paul, see how he's doing. Hey, buddy, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. I see you're still on that long and desolate road, so keep going, sir. Don't turn back.
I can't. That's last year. This is the new year.
What Paul doesn't tell you is that right there is the entirety of Honduras. All of it. in total. No, but I'm glad you're here, man. Thank you so much for joining us. How was your new year?
Oh, it was good. I didn't really do anything. Just kind of played video games with Matt and just chilled out, and that's it.
That is awesome. There's nothing wrong with a nice chill New Year's Eve. You keep it nice and safe.
Yep.
Brian's here. What is I'm sure he's talking about the Honduras comment. That's what he
Yeah.
meant.
100%.
Yeah, well, so have you seen any new movies lately? That's what I want to hear.
I saw the new Willy Wonka. We've already, we covered that one.
Yeah.
We bought tickets today to go see Night Swim in 2 nights. So I'm super stoked to go see Night Swim. I hope it doesn't disappoint.
How do you think that's going to pan out? How do you think that's going to play out with everything? You think it's going to go in a good direction and be a good movie, or you think it's going to be a dud?
I hope it's not a dud. A lot of times I'm skeptical with a PG-13 horror movie. I mean, I'm not saying that PG-13 can't be good, but I will say they're limited on how good they can be because that means they can't rely on gore and cursing. So they got to make up with it with story and great characters and amazing actors. So I hope they're able to portray it good enough to where I don't even notice what it's rated, and it was just a great film.
Listen, it's hard to argue with that. I did want to bring up one thing I'm a little peeved about with you. I asked a question over on the thescenesnobs social media, and you answered it, but I'd really like to know what you meant with your answer here. Now, do you remember said answer?
Yes, because you're talking about Final Destination.
Yes. Now, here's the implications I have with this, and I'm going to bring Melissa on in a few minutes, but I want to kick this off so everybody knows, and I want to tell a story about Mel before she could say anything. It's going to be a good one because it was the day that we'll get to. I want to hear what she says about Final Destination, so we'll talk about that topic in a minute. So Mel, Melissa Laude, we went to film school together. I met Mel on the set of my first movie. I wasn't directing. I wrote it and I was producing it. Three Bro Show, first show. And Mel was the assistant director to Alex, who was directing the movie. When I say I walked on the set and there was a badass on set yelling at me, she didn't care who I was. She kept things in tow. So I will never defend that script. I know what I wrote, and that is what I put down consistently. I will say though, that was for basically a first movie really for all of us together. That was a hell of a well-run ship. So I have to give her a lot of credit. So I have no doubt in the world of Hollywood, it's even better. So I'm going to bring her on. Mel, what's up?
Hey, you guys.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm very good. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining. I'm so glad you can come on.
Yeah. I put Bosco on there because that's what people call me on set, but nobody else is used to it. So yeah,
I'll call you Bosco. Mel. I remember.
It's Mel or Bosco. I love it.
So, Paul, this is Mel. Mel is you've been ADing for probably almost 2 decades.
Yep, clean close. 17 years.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'm so glad you can come on. I want to talk a lot about like what you've been doing in the past few years and just kind of get your insights on filmmaking, if that's all right with you, and anything you're willing to share. I don't want to pry anything out of you.
Oh, I can talk for years. Don't worry.
Love to have you. But I do want to ask you this, if you want to have kind of like a little fun offset topic real quick.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I recently posted on social media, which movie universe would be the worst to live in as a background character? Paul over here said Final Destination.
I mean,
there's a lot of choices there, though. I mean, there's a lot of people who don't die in Final Destination.
There are a lot of people that do, and I assumed I'd be one of those assholes in the background that just gets killed horrifically.
I would love to know, Mel, what do you think is a terrible set? I'm going to ask this in two parts.
Okay.
One, just as a movie fan, what do you think would be a terrible world to be like a background person living in it? And what movie have you worked on that you would say that world was probably the worst?
The worst? I haven't done a whole lot of superhero ones. That's just what comes to mind in my head. But I love that you said Final Destination, because you're kind of always on your toes on what the hell's going to happen. And that'd be pretty shitty. Matrix, it would be kind of not great to be in the background of, I don't think, if I knew the truth.
Would you want to, or would you be like Cyrus and be like, throw me back in?
Yeah, but give me the other pill.
Plug me right on in. I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
I need my steak and whiskey too much.
There you go.
I'm sorry. Your cubicle doesn't look like better than your cave bedroom, but whatever. Bryant's in the comments says The Purge. I definitely don't want to live in The Purge.
Oh, that's so true. That's a great one. Yeah.
I might have fun though.
No.
I got
I wouldn't.
Like this badass that could just like kick the ass, that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, everybody wants to be the guy with the tank in the zombie apocalypse, but who were the people that had to die before that person was able to get to the tank and make it? Nobody comes out of the apocalypse like ready.
Yeah, no.
Got this.
I can't.
Got my war paint. I could be the Honduran hyena.
There you go.
I even got a villain name. See, there it is.
You better go change that.
Mad Max. Mad Max is another one I would never ever want to be in. Yeah. Nope.
I didn't even think about that. You are absolutely right. Yeah.
I would take The Purge over Mad Max. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like with The Purge, like Mad Max, I feel like there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
You just live in the apocalypse. You just got to make do, and it's horrifying. The Purge, yes, but it's only one day out of the year.
That's true.
And if I could somehow figure out that one day where like nobody can find me or get me, that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I will say with The Purge, isn't The Purge only in the USA? So couldn't you just leave the country just for a day? Like, let's go visit Canada for a day. And
unless Canada's like, we don't want you.
Go to Honduras for a day.
They're dying to get out. They built the walls to keep us in. Few comments. People are joining in. I like Will. What's going on, man? Thanks for joining up, Wise. Sturdy, what's going on? Check out Harvester Sturdy after this. Twisted Metal. Have you seen this one, Mel?
No. On my list though.
It's funny. It's violent and funny, but I think you really like it.
Nice.
But yeah, I it's basically a washed down road warrior or Mad Max world. Here of course in America, it's like, all right, you can drive your cars, you can have your fun. Like, all right.
Well, the guy that did my tattoo, he got to be on the last Mad Max movie.
That's awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Shot in the desert, and it was awful. I mean, I had my second AD friend was on it, and he was the second on it, and you can't get in those sand pits. There's scorpions everywhere.
Oh my god! Have you ever worked on a desert set? I know we're around your area, and I don't want to give away.
Live in New Mexico.
Yeah, there you go. I'll let you do that. I didn't want to give it away, but so do you do a lot of shooting out in the desert?
Oh yeah.
How is that? Like, was that an adjustment? Because I know when we all lived out in LA together. So just for backstory for everybody. So, and it was, I guess you didn't really do too many desert shoots from what I remember and talking to you about or talking to Joe. So how has it been in New Mexico shooting those?
Oh, I mean, night and day from LA. LA was like all studio lots, and it was wonderful. But in New Mexico, you're in the every environment imaginable, and it's in one day. I mean, this was Lone Ranger like every day, but like extreme heat, sleet, snow, hail, mud, rain, and then extreme cold. So all in one day. So you can
Jeez,
imagine.
God.
I work 16-hour days, so
you,
get pretty intense out here. But
that's
it's
great.
cool.
And that's a great show, though. Congratulations.
It was bombed.
Fantastic. Oh, really?
Lone Ranger bombed.
It did.
Oh, not
I
Lone
loved
Ranger.
it.
I'm sorry. I was thinking of Bass Reeves for some reason. The
Oh.
new one that's based on it. Oh,
I saw Lone Ranger.
No, I knew you were on the Lone Ranger. I love that movie.
It looked beautiful.
It looks beautiful.
I thought it
And
was
you know what, though? But I liked it because it was Pirates of the Caribbean, but cowboys.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I just don't think people wanted that. And I know there was a lot of script issues, and I would have dug the supernatural element, but I didn't mind what I got. I get the controversy of, whitewashing and stuff, but
Sure.
but whatever. So working on, so when you're working on that, that's extreme. That's a lot. But can we talk about for a real quick, because there's a lot of upcoming filmmakers and indie filmmakers that watch.
Yes.
Could you explain to them like what your role is and kind of the DGA and how that works or differentiates from it?
Yeah, sure. So I'm an assistant director, and that's not an assistant to the director. It's I kind of run the set. So director will do all the creative stuff, and I will tell everybody what to do. Everybody else what to do. He can deal with the actor. He or she can deal with the actors, but I'm the one doing all the scheduling, running the set, making sure people know what they're doing and where they're going. So as a second assistant director, I'm the one in charge of the call sheet and day-by-day things. So, I mean, Lone Ranger, we had a 300-man crew. I'm talking to these guys, every day about what's coming the next day. And it took me a long time to get in the Directors Guild. It's one of the hardest unions to get into. It took me, I don't know, I did indie world for a while before I jumped into big budget. So 6 years once I went big budget before I joined the Directors Guild. And ever since then, it's been, a whirlwind of fun. If you can say that.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make us all same size again, but because I would love to. Thank you for that insight. That's fantastic, and I think it's so important too, especially so for everybody knows they have the above the line crew and they have the below the line crew. There's no real difference except for the below the line crew really make it happen. But so with the below the line, like we hear a lot of jobs we see in the credits and stuff like that, and I think a lot of times people they automatically hear director and they think, oh, so she's like an up and coming or training to be a director or something. That's not what that is at all.
No, I am a very, very technical person. You give me a spreadsheet, I'm happy-go-lucky. But if you make me put a camera sheet together and decide what shots I want to shoot, I'm not creative at all. So, but unfortunately, we do have a creative side though, and we set the background. So anybody you see in the background that's not a cast as an actor, we set it. Yeah,
love it. I love that. And thank you again for sharing. So, like, Paul, do you have any questions before I go on?
I got a whirlwind of questions. I don't know. So I'm trying to work on my first screenplay right now. I very lightly say that because I'm not that special, but I'm
don't
trying
do
to do
that.
my
Don't
best.
undersell yourself.
Don't undersell yourself.
I'm humbled. Anyway, man. So where do you start as far as like for you? If someone was bringing you on for short film.
Sure.
Like, what do you look at first to be like, all right, we need to start here before anything else?
Yep. Yeah, that's a really good question. And being from the indie world, there's so many different paths you can take, and it really depends on where you are and how much you want to spend or not spend, and what kind of crew you want and things like that. So honestly, I would be one of the first people you would hire so that I can find a crew, so that I can schedule it and decide, oh, this is how many locations you need. This is the kind of equipment you need. So, and think about that when you write a screenplay too, because you don't want to have, explosions every other scene. And then, oh, I only have $500 to shoot this.
Right.
Doesn't happen. So, and two, I also do, I do a little production assistant training program. Me and a couple other assistant directors do that because there's so many things in the film industry that people learn every day that I still am learning every day. And I've been in the business, 2 decades. And so really it's finding kind of the people that you want to work with. Number one, if you don't have a crew, nothing's going to happen. So it absolutely starts with a screenplay, but you want to continue on and find those people that you work really well with and develop ideas And once that screenplay's out, come find a production manager or an assistant director, and then we kind of really take it from there. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where does one find one?
Trust your people. If I could add anything, I'd say trust your people. They know what they're doing. Just
yes. And a good place to start out, especially at the beginning, and I hate to say this, but Craigslist.
Okay.
Craigslist or film schools are really good ones, because sometimes you can use like their equipment and their backlots, which helps a lot. Mandy.com used to be a big one. Again, I haven't done an indie movie in a while, so sorry if I'm very outdated here. But,
no.
But it really is 99% word of mouth and finding people. So once you even find that one person that can just make things happen for you, keep them, hold on for dear life.
Absolutely.
Don't even look at me. I can't do anything. So
Mexico, I'll help you.
there you go. That's the best offer you're gonna get, Paul. I'm telling you.
There you go.
Because it will happen. I think I've told you a long time, Mel. I cannot wait until you just flip that switch and become a producer.
Ooh, oh my God, it's my passion. I you know what? I just got off a movie. Let me tell you this. I just got off a movie with Spielberg's daughter. It's her directorial debut. Associate producer.
Ooh, congratulations.
I know, thank you. Yeah.
You told me back in the day, I would always say, I was like, when you finally decide to become like, I never said this about anybody except for two people. Remember Greg Gill?
Oh, yeah.
I told him, I said, I could see you standing on a stage, and I could see you, Mel, standing on a stage when you get into producing. Because that's it. You're going to find the script, and that's all, and then it's over. But
thank you.
Because it's the work that goes into it, and that's why, like, you know, the scene, when you meet people like this and they have this drive and the ambition, you see it.
Yeah.
You know the sky's the limit at that point. So. Yeah, I'm so excited. So what can you talk about? What projects can you talk about? Because I know you're probably working on stuff, and I don't want to.
No, I can pretty much talk about anything at this point. I mean, Destry's project, the Please Don't Feed the Children. That's like one of the newest one I did. And then Opus, the John Malkovich thing. Those are the last two that aren't out yet, but I can still talk about them.
Well, you mentioned, you alluded to Malkovich. Like I said, that's got to be intense. But what did you think?
No, he's a little bear. He's a sweetheart. But it's so funny because he really is so much like his characters and how he talks and does all the things. It's so funny. It's I'm like, all right, John, come on, let's go. We're going.
That's fantastic. Yeah.
What?
I was watching the SNL was a Christmas episode of my kid. He's 11 now, so he's into it.
Yeah.
And he was on, he's reading a story, and I'm just like, I'm watching him, I'm like, this, he's known for this. He's known for just being an intense dude. Like, he's just crazy. But that is so cool to hear. He's like a bear. Like, can you like kind of tell us what that movie's about?
Opus. Oh geez. It's a thriller. It's one of those A24 thrillers that just keep you on the edge of your toes, and you don't know what's going to happen until the end, and you're like, what the hell is going on? So it's creepy. It's a creepy little cult kind of movie. John Malkovich is a singer, funny enough. And he's been out of the business a long time, and he has this big cult following, and then he invites these people, these journalists, out to see him, and nobody's seen him in decades, so it's this big deal, and then all this crazy shit goes down. So you got to watch it. It's going to be pretty intense.
Well, if A24 is on, I'm going to watch it.
Right?
I love what they're doing. So, and actually, if I could ask about that, like working for different studios as it goes on, and you've worked, I think, with all of them at this point.
Yeah.
How is that, like, with A24, which is kind of a smaller, and it seems like a more independent house?
Yes.
Are the sets more of a feel of independent? Because their stuff looks incredible.
Yeah. A24 especially, their scripts, I mean, everything is just straight from the scripts of, you never think something like this can be happening. It's so cool. And unfortunately it is a little bit lower budget, but it's not bad lower budget. It's still in the realm of, like $10 million movie, Yeah. So it's workable, and they really know how to find their talent, and they're really good with just creativity and finding the right crew, and might be starting up on another one very soon. I'm interviewing for it next week. So cross your fingers, guys. Thank you.
Better hire.
Break
I'm
away.
giving your movie a bad
Thank
review.
you.
I'll find out.
Because it's the guy that did Midsummer, and I really want to work with that dude. So, and
Oh, Ari Aster, huh?
yeah, Ari Aster, yeah.
Oh my God, I don't know if I would have come on here then. Listen, here's the thing with
what?
Ari Aster. No. I don't
I didn't
think
say I like
now.
it. I'm excited to work with him.
Well, no. He, I love the look of his movies, and they're all well acted and great.
Yeah.
My only thing with his stories is like he has really good stories. I feel like he needs a partner to step in and like flesh some things out.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't need me. He does not.
Oh, not you.
No. He needs He needs Mel. I thought you were talking to me.
No.
My last thing he needs is me.
Well, this one is starring Joaquin Phoenix and Emma Stone and Pablo Pascual. So
it's gonna be a really good one.
I know. So
I'm excited.
hopefully.
So you've seen a lot of processes too, and you were an actor. You've been on camera, coming in and being more technical on set, but also working with a lot of actors. Have you learned anything or been able to maybe help some of these actors in their process in some way?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Oh my gosh. Let me think of which one to start on. Okay, Goliath. You guys know that show, Goliath?
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, oh crap, what's his name? William Hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I know he died, but whoa, what a character actor. And I've worked with not a lot of method actors, Joaquin Phoenix for sure, but William Hurt was one of those guys that he had to read lines with me before he went to set.
Really?
Yeah, just me. It couldn't be anybody else. So, and it was a big process because I ran base camp, and running base camp means I get all the actors ready and get them up to set. So they go through like hair, makeup, wardrobe, and then go to set. And I had, Billy Bob Thornton and all these guys, 20 actors a day, and William Hurt wouldn't let me leave aside. So, and we actually wrote a scene together on Goliath on the first season, and I am not a screenwriter. So that was different, but the man just couldn't remember any of his lines if I wasn't there to kind of get him in the zone before he went to set.
Wow,
that's weird, right?
Yeah, but I mean that says something like really special about his bond with you, though, because to me that says like even if it's a method thing or whatever process he's using, you are the only thing, like your face or your the way your voice, like he's probably imagining talking to you. So I mean that's a high honor, I would think. Right?
It was amazing. It was amazing, and everybody like called him my boyfriend. I'm like, oh please God no.
I mean, listen, like, I would say I know your husband pretty well, and I'm okay with this. I think saying William Hurt is an ex-boyfriend is fine.
Well, he was a very odd person, and I get along really well with a lot of odd actors that nobody can handle. That's my go-to. That's why I ran base camp for 10 years. So I've dealt with a lot of actors, and
I remember some of your stories back in LA. Like it was just so odd to hear, like, and not odd that you would be doing it. Like again, I got no doubts, but it was just like because we were like out of film school trying to figure it out, and like hearing those stories was just so amazing, and it was like. Filled us with such hope. So it's very cool. I do want to point out to Paul too, because he'll love this story. All the actors I know you've met and you've worked with, but there's a place, and this was the most. I remember when you told me this, you were so excited. You shot, I think it was a Reese Witherspoon movie in a very special hotel.
Oh.
Could you talk about that one a little bit for my buddy of The Shining over here?
Oh, big fan of The Shining, huh?
Yes,
awesome. Man. That is so awesome. Now we shot a movie called Wild, and we got to be in the place where they shot. They did the exteriors for The Shining in this place. It wasn't, it was like an Oregon, wherever the hell it was. I don't remember. Everything blends together, but.
I never realized that when I saw Wild. Now I got to watch Wild again. Just
got to watch Wild for the exterior of that hotel because wow, it's amazing, and it was really cool. And we did a lot of Shining, things on the day when we shot that stuff because we thought it was so great.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Little kids in the hallway. It was just, it was fun.
We're going to spin the wheel in a few, but I want to kind of talk about it a little bit more. Paul, do you have any questions? I don't want to take over everything. Is there anything?
What could I do as writing a screenplay to make it easier for the assistant director, I guess, so that they can look at it and it's like it's a little less hectic, so they're not having to figure out everything necessarily.
Honestly, keep the creative and do everything that you want to do creatively, and then we can tear it down.
Okay.
And not in a bad way, but in a well, maybe this scene's not quite so feasible. Can we do this instead? That's kind
I
of what
gotcha.
we bring those insights. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But yeah, get as creative and crazy as you can, because we want everything to happen that you want to happen, and
Gotcha.
9 times out of 10 we can. Yeah,
That's perfect. I love this. I love this so much. Being able to talk to you again, because it's so much fun for me. And I'm so sorry about last week, but I'm glad we get to start the new year off right.
Yes, it's gonna be a great year, guys. It's been a very rough 2023, and I'm very happy to be back in 2024 making things happen.
Well, now all you have to do is message me and just be like, "Can I come on Tuesday and talk some shit?" Yeah.
Yes.
There you go. And I would just throw you the link. I'll add you to the group chat, because then it's like whoever wants to join.
Oh God.
Before we spin the wheel, I do have to ask you a very, very important movie. If you cannot talk about it, I understand. But if I'd be hard pressed, because one of my favorite actors of all time was in it.
Oh,
and I really want to know what it was like to work with him, and that's Wile E. Coyote.
Oh my God.
Coyote versus Acme. There's so much drama behind this show, but this movie, but I hear it's amazing.
It is. I can't believe when I heard that they were not gonna, release it. I'm like, you guys are crazy. You're crazy. I did all the second unit for this, so we did really, really cool stunt scenes, and there's a Wiley puppeteer that he made a Wiley for us and one for him, so for the main set. So I got to carry Wiley around all the time, put him in the street, and and watch as he chases the bird around, and not bird, Roadrunner. But it was really
not Roadrunner.
it was a really, really fun set. Like really fun. It's gonna look amazing. So you know what? I will, and you have to keep this to yourself, but I'll send you the whole opening scene that we shot, so you can kind of see the whole opening of the movie.
He won't even get it. It's fine.
Don't play.
You can come to my house and see it. That's how you see it. I'm not sending this anywhere. In fact, I'll take it off of all online after that.
Okay.
But, thank you. So I'm so excited for that, because it's I really hope that the fans can turn it around and get that to come out, because I've heard nothing but amazing things.
Yeah, honestly, I heard that it did get bought, but I'm not sure by who. So I don't know.
Netflix.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Throws it out. All right, one more question.
Really funny. And John Cena's great, by the way.
That was my next question. Was
it's good to know.
You've worked with The Rock and you've worked with Cena. Who's your favorite wrestler turned actor? Or have you ever worked with Dave Bautista?
No, I haven't worked with Bautista. No.
That'll come. He'll be in your Academy Award winner. He's the best one out of all of them. Acting wise, I would definitely say he's so good.
John Cena is awesome. He plays piano and reads all the time. He actually requests a piano in his trailer.
I remember when it was only like 5 or 6 years ago. He was like, "I'm going to learn how to play the piano," and he just did. Like, he was just.
He's so cool. Yeah, I didn't like his double though. He's a jerk.
That's great insight, and I love that even more.
But John Cena's the man. Yeah.
I love
that's good to know, because one of my friends is a huge John Cena fan, so I'm about to be like, hey, you need to watch podcasts now, and John Cena's really awful. You're gonna hear stories about him. He's gonna be like, she said he was great. I'll be like, yeah, your hero actually isn't an asshole. It's okay.
Right. Dwayne Johnson, on the other hand, I'm really sad about. I'll tell you about him in a little bit. Go do your thing.
That's fine. Yeah, I will spin the wheel. I get that one. All right, here we go. Spin it. So basically, guys, how this works is it correlates with a number, and that has a weird, absurd topic to talk about. And today's number is 4. All right. So I'm going to pull up our good old number 4. You got to be kidding me. You've got it. Okay. So I'm going to be honest. I chat GPT'd absurd movie based question. I shit you not. I have not looked at these because I wanted to be just as surprised. There's 100 of them. Number 4. Which movie universe would be the worst to live in?
No way.
I'm not kidding you. There had to be a whole bunch of things to work out for that to happen.
Wow.
And that be today's question online. So let's expand, shall we?
Okay.
So now we said, like, what would be a background player? Now you got to live in it. What's the worst you got? Now I'm still, because now you're open up to space movies.
Yeah.
So what do you guys got for me? What's the would it be a horror, or would you say something else?
Jumanji.
Well, that's a good one.
Yeah, because you can really die in Jumanji, and that's designed to kill you.
Yeah.
It's like Australia, the board game. So, have you ever worked in Australia? No.
No, I have not. No.
You're getting there. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what it's going to be.
I've had to turn down a lot of international movies, unfortunately, but I missed the last Transformers I got offered. Oh, well.
Oh, yeah, they have a new one coming out, don't they?
East one or whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
That'd be one that was terrible. Anyone where a planet or something can eat another planet is eat our planet or whatever. I'd say that's a pretty shitty one. Like, I don't want to live in like Transformers, have robots fighting and killing.
No, yeah.
Godzilla, that's a terrible one. James says, I was going to say Gotham, but I live in Chicago, so I'm basically already wrong. It's the basis for many. All right. I would have to argue and say maybe Star Wars. There's always a war.
Yeah.
At least with Trek, you know, you're getting the battles, but at the same time, you're kind of safe.
Yeah.
All right.
I can see that.
Well, I do feel bad because we did answer this question, so I'm going to spin the wheel again if that's all right with everybody. If we get number 4, I'm quitting the show and I'm shutting it all off. You brought the juju on. No, I love it. All right, we're going to remove number 4. We're not getting.
Can I ask if there are any stories you got about Mick during school?
Oh, God.
Oh, am I allowed to talk to him?
You go right ahead. I don't remember most of them, so please be kind. That's all I ask.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm going to take this off while you do this because I'm sure plenty of people want to know.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, that's so funny. I'm
going to blush because I'm like, what did I do?
No, you're pretty great. We had a lot of fun in school, I think. And,
yeah, we all did. We had a great time. You and I were always laughing.
You weren't in my class half the time, so we missed a lot of stuff.
So here's
yeah, tell me.
This is why I didn't meet Mel the first month.
Yeah.
Mel. So our classes changed month to month, right?
Oh.
And it's because it's like you're basically like doing a semester and or you're doing like one semester in like 2 months the whole time because you graduate in 21. So so I started in like April no, I'm sorry, it was it was April of
2006?
2006. Yeah, I can't even remember. God damn.
Now I feel old.
No, I appreciate it. I can't. I'm going to see now. So I started then. I got kicked out in the first month.
Uh-huh.
Mel was off the first month because she had those credits. If I remember, that's what it was. You were
already had.
So Mel wasn't gonna. You weren't going to start until the second month, and I had already gotten kicked out for having alcohol on campus, and it wasn't great, but whatever. And so it was only a month. They brought us back in, but I started a class behind them. Mm-hmm. And when I got in, Mel was starting, and so when we did second grade of love, which was only like a month later, that's why we met there, and we didn't meet in class. But then after that, like, I mean, she's married to my best friend. I will say that. Yeah. Like, I there's not many people I would stab to protect, but her husband's one of them. So, and her too, of course. I love them. And their kids. They're my family. That's all the information you get about me. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. We had a really great time at school. It was so much fun.
It was a lot of fun. I feel like go ahead.
I was gonna say, what was the most fun, and not because you worked on some of the bigger productions that happened. But I'm talking like the student films or the smaller production. What was like one of the most fun ones you've worked on?
Do I have to pick one? I mean,
no, you can talk about a few.
No. I mean, like, I don't know.
Listen, there were some bad movies, but like I like Season of the Witch. That was a fun one, wasn't?
Yeah, I like this.
Because they made the carnival and everything.
Spirit of a Woman.
Spirit of a Woman. That's what it was. Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah. I love that one. That was fun.
That was because we didn't. I was working as Jeremy's assistant on makeup, and so they built this whole carnival for this thing, and it just looked really cool out back. Yeah, and the night shoots were a lot of fun. Yeah, so, not for you because you were working out, and most of I was in the makeup room. So
now I'm used to it, right?
Yeah, there was, so there weren't a lot of, oh man, remember John Archer in London?
Oh boy. Yes, I do.
You had to wrangle him a lot. He wasn't in a lot of ours. He was an actor who was like in all the Full Sail movie. He was like royalty there for a while.
Yeah.
And he would show up in everything. He was a nice guy.
Yeah.
What about you? You got what's one of your favorite memories from school?
I don't know. Honestly, just doing school and nothing else. It was kind of nice not having to, to work, but to hang out with you guys all the time. And you guys had a lot of just fun, just get-togethers, and
the old house was fun.
Yeah. And I don't know. It was nice to kind of chill before moving to LA, because once I was in LA, it was, go forever. So
you got me my first job in LA.
Yeah.
I was a script student.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was remember that we were showing the Hollywood Hills?
Yeah.
I love that. That was a great scene. You were the one that warned me about the porn chair.
Oh my god.
Oh God.
Well, let me set the stage for you. So it's a mansion in the hills, and people just rent rooms there. So a lot of times they'll rent it to be film location.
Yep.
I'm a script soup. I got my book. I'm working with my binder, and I sit down in this purple like chair, kind of like this, but they didn't do anything on this one. And a leopard, and I had my book and everything all on a leopard print pool table. Mm-hmm. And Mel you were the one that you were like, porn here, right? I'm like, yeah, so, and I look around, I'm like, purple chair and a leopard pool table, right. Probably been on the movies.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's what's up. That was a shoot. Remember Sean Young on that one? That was fun.
Yes.
She was
something. I think I had a nervous breakdown on that one.
I
She forgot her wardrobe one day and had to drive like 2.5 hours to get it. I just wanted to lose my shit.
I don't blame you. Those days, man. So let me ask you that, from the first days starting out, even out of film school, going into LA and doing it in a more, I don't want to say, because you worked on a lot of professional films, even in Florida at school, but just being kind of out of the setting of school.
Yeah.
And being in LA doing it compared to now, what would you say is like the biggest thing maybe you've learned, or your takeaways from that, that, your experiences that you've had, or that really stick with you?
I mean, honestly, it was a whole lot of crossing my fingers and hoping for the next job like as soon as possible, because it's such a cutthroat industry. But when you get into it and you just go show to show, then you start getting, a group together, and then you feel better about things. But it's always, and even now, it's I got to find that first AD that I'm going to work with. I got to find that director that I'm going to work with, and I wish it was, I was on every Seth Rogen movie and I wouldn't have to worry about anything, that kind of thing. So
yeah.
It was hard starting out, but I got lucky and got interviewed like the second day I was out there, and got a job within a week, and worked on Project Runway for 9 months. So that was my start. Reality.
I remember that. Yeah. That was, and I want to give you a little more credit than you will give yourself, because I know you. It was a small amount of luck. It was the hard work, because Mel took the jobs that I didn't want to work in reality TV. So I was like, no, I'm going to focus on this. But Mel took the jobs and she did them. She did the indies. She did the Project Run, the stuff that you don't go into filmmaking, want to work Project Runway. I'm not saying it's not a fun set or anything, but like, you don't want to work that, and you did it. And now you're and huge thing.
That's the crazy thing about connections is, I went from Project Runway to Bad Girls Club, dear God.
I remember that one.
Right? And then for some reason I got on a little indie called Growth, and that person, and this is all from connecting from this job to job. That person happened to be working on Sorcerer's Apprentice next. So I got a day on Sorcerer's Apprentice, or a couple weeks on Sorcerer's Apprentice, and then they're like, "Hey, we're gonna go shoot 47 Ronin with Keanu Reeves. You want to be an office PA?" I'm like, "Hell yeah!" And that's how it built, And it was just back to back to back, because that's why you have to keep in touch with people. It's a tough industry, but if you have a smile on your face and you work your ass off, you're gonna make it happen, because there's a lot of jerks out there, and you have to have some really thick skin in this business. So
yeah, and that's why, and you've always been great at it, and that's honestly, Mel, I do follow your career. I am in awe of you.
Thank you.
You are killing it, and it's so wonderful to watch, because it brings, like, I've talked about this before, we've had other guests on the show and stuff, but like, for you to watch you be able to do this, to be able to start out and be in film school with you and see where you're at, like, it's so inspiring to me to be like, oh my God, like, that's so amazing. Like, I can build some hard work, I can build something, I can build those things, and it's just been amazing to watch, and I truly appreciate it.
Thanks.
And I do appreciate you sharing like everything tonight.
Oh yeah. Oh, I could write a book. Could break 5.
After that Oscar, then write the book, because that's when you make
right?
There you go.
all the memoirs.
We'll start with Breaking Bad, and it'll be great. No.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh no! Please go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
No. I just got so is the Rock a jerk? LOL.
Yeah,
very good question.
I don't want to. We're not answering that on this show. We don't do salacious on the Scene Snobs. We do movies.
You know, he was a sweetheart to me, so I'll tell you that. He was a sweetheart to me, but a lot of people have a tough time with him. So
if your name is Vin, he's probably not a sweetheart to you.
Oh. Or Jason Statham, don't get me started. I love the man, though. I do. I love the man.
Didn't he introduce you to his parents?
No, his parents apologized to me for him being a jerk to me.
Wow.
When does that happen, guys? Huh?
That's pretty amazing. I'm not that
Where's Bosco? We're so sorry for our son's behavior.
You know what? Next time, if you're working on a movie with him, just invite me on set one day. Yes. I'll just stand over him and I'll just be like, "Don't be a jerk to Mel, dude."
No actors can phase me. It's a rarity, you know. I mean, me and Warren Beatty got into it, you know. So, you know.
Are you allowed to tell that story?
Oh, sure.
Oh, please. This is one of my favorites you've told me in the past. So Warren Beatty, of course.
Not as good as his sister. Well, since I've done so many things, I start to forget, you know, like what's what and when what happened. So it's like, but I remember with Warren Beatty, we did a movie, and he was the director and the main actor, Howard Hughes. And I mean, he was old then, and this was a while ago, 10 years ago, I think. But he has a bit of an anger problem, and I was running base camp on his movie, and he's so gross. Sometimes he's gross, but sometimes he's great. You know,
that's okay. We back you, so I don't care
old
about
horny dude. Let me tell you that. Ugh.
Old bag of bones. We back Mel. Screw you.
Well, we got into it, or he got into it with me, thinking I said something to him that I didn't about the scene we're shooting, blah, blah, blah. And so, and I don't get mad very often, but I don't like when people tell me I did something that I didn't do. So we back and forth, you know, yelling match. And never again did he yell at me after that. So I'm like, no, buddy. It's going down.
Oh, yeah, you're going to handle your own. I introduced you by saying she yelled at me on my own movie, and she was right to.
Hey, everybody's got their time and place. You just gotta, you gotta find the right moment. Sometimes I don't find the right moments, and it doesn't work out so well.
I'll never forget that feeling. It was like, who the hell is she?
Yeah. And
like, but also thinking like, she knows what she's doing now. I can't like really argue that like she's doing it. But I was like, you knew better than us.
Yeah. I had to figure it out. I figured it out, and that's what's so cool about being an assistant director. Is really, film school is not going to teach me a lot about that. But now I know all of the other positions, and I know about grip and electric. I know about camera. But I tell people, like, the best thing you're going to learn, and the best way to learn, to get on a set. You can be a freaking production assistant. You can be a locations assistant. You can, they still have people intern. You can intern and just be on the set and learn something, because that's the best way to do anything,
really is. Like, and just keep being, and like Mel was saying, keep being on set. Use your networking and keep going. And
find when you should talk and when you shouldn't talk.
I didn't have that great of a instinct on that. So
I'm learning. I'm learning.
You did great. You were always good on set.
Thank you.
You were, it was always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I want to say thank you so much for coming on. I could sit here and actually do this. So I mean it. Like, if you tell me, I'm going to add you a group chat, and if you tell me you want to be on, you're on.
Okay.
Then we could just talk, and we'll come up with some fun stuff.
Sure.
But I'm going to let you go now. We're going to start our outro, but I want to say thank you again so much. I cannot wait to see the other big things that are coming from you. I'll send you a script, so that way that could be your Academy Award. No, I'm kidding.
Nice.
don't think anything I write. But I cannot wait. And I'm not even going to say goodbye. I'm going to say have a good night, because you are coming back on the show. Cool. 2024, start fresh, and let's do it. But I'll let you go now, and thank you so much again, Bosco.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Take
love
care.
That.
Mel's the best, dude.
Awesome.
That was so exciting. No, you go over on this side. You stay on this side. I feel weird. I used to do that to Casey. Like, no, there's something about it. I need to see it on the right side.
I kind of like
you look better. You look better over there on the right.
Same.
So So that was always a lot of fun, and man, film school was a good time. And when I talking to Mel and all that stuff, drummed up a lot of really fun stories. But I'm not gonna tell them on this episode,
Gotcha.
because
I do have a question though. I thought Full Sail was in Florida. I didn't know it was in LA.
no, it wasn't. We went to Florida, and then they moved out to Los Angeles. Joe and Mel moved out to Los Angeles before I did. After film school, I stayed in Florida for a little bit, just a small amount of time. Then I went up to New York, and I was working on I was driving a 15-pass van in New York City.
I got you.
For Reader's Digest, they were doing a movie at the time. So like that, and then not that I didn't like that. I had a lot of fun doing that stuff, but I left that. And then, like, so if I graduated in March, I was on this job that Mel got me, which is called Signal Loss. You can find it. September, I think it was.
Okay, wow.
And so I think it was September, and then so I was out there quick. And listen, if you move out to LA to try and get into the industry, which when you're beginning, I get it. You don't have to though. You know, like I wouldn't recommend it for you. No. You know, you're married. You're doing your thing. So you can, if you want to do it, there's ways to do that. But there are a lot of young people who are like, well, I want to work for the studios. I want to do this. I would suggest go out to LA because I'm not saying live there forever. The hardcore right are definitely flocking out of it. And most of the left are. It's a superficial place. It's annoying. It's crowded. There's a lot of beauty to it and history to it, which I love, but there's a lot of bullshit to it too. So if you're young and you're cool with maneuvering that for maybe 5 to 10 years until you can get into a guild, and then you got to go to another city. Right. You know, then like Mel moved to New Mexico. I know I have a lot of friends who moved out to Atlanta. Some, you know, they're all over the place, like because they're big film communities. Right. I would say go try it, learn some things, go on sets. But yeah, Mel's right. Like she got to that point because she was on sets all the time. Right. She was like, I cannot tell you. I know I was a slacker. Like I worked hard and I did well in school. But compared to Mel, like who was always working, like we would be drinking, having fun after a long day of school, and she just worked 6 hours on a set after working 10 hours at school. Right. Because that's who she was. So that's why she's where she is now. Well, I don't want to be unfair to myself either. Like, I love what I do, you know, but like the rat race of it all, I was like, no, I do one thing. And we've talked about my other reasons, but that's kind of my place. So if anybody's coming up, if you do film school or if you don't, which I'm not going to push you one way or the other, I would, don't waste the money. There's a lot of free resources. Personally, you could do that, but yeah, I wouldn't go crazy over it, my friend. Make your movie, write your script, don't dwell on it forever. Right. I know. Write it. Now, have you a full completed script? Yes, I'm just doing some little edits right now. So knock it off and let me see it. Okay. I can tell you right now, that's what writers will do to themselves, especially when they're starting. They'll shoot themselves in the foot by saying, I'm just doing little edits and I'll get it to you. And then little edits take years. Right. So just have somebody, if you have a full script, I'm not saying ready to shoot. Right. I'm just saying you have a beginning, middle, and end story. Just send it to me or whoever you want to read it first. And we'll read it. And then notes. That's the next thing. Then you can make the changes to drafts by notes. How about that? You are going to be fun. With that being said, though, I have an option for you. We can either review these fucking movies or we can do one more absurdity wheel. Ooh. I'll give it to you for the new year. I'll let you choose. New year, let's do the wheel because that's new. All right. I feel bad. If I knew I was going to do this, I would let Mel just say because I love talking to her, and I really mean it. I would love to have her back on the show. So, did they meet in film school? Her and her husband? Yeah, they met. That's so cool. Yeah, that's awesome. They met and they've been together. I'm not giving away any names or anything, but they have 2 wonderful daughters. And yeah, Joe. I don't talk to him nearly as much as I should. But I love that fucking guy. He's amazing. 29. Hey. All right, you ready? Yes, sir. Let me pull this out so we can just talk. What if superheroes had to reveal their secret identities? Like as far as like the world would be like if we lived in a world of superheroes, right? So pick one. We'll go from Batman. The basis of one. We'll go Batman. So you're going DC then? Yeah. Okay, you're going DC. So Superman, Wonder Woman, all of them, the whole Justice League, every villain exists, the whole 9. That's a terrible choice. I know. So many terrible villains. Now, what do you think the world would be like if they had to reveal their secret identities?
I feel like it'd be a lot worse. Well, especially for like Batman. You just think of Batman, like if everyone knew it was Bruce Wayne the whole time.
No.
Like I wonder how many of the companies would pull out because they're doing shady stuff and scared that Batman's gonna get to them eventually.
Yeah, right.
And then I mean, it makes it a lot easier for the villains, even though a lot of the villains know who he is anyway. They figure it out, but it won't help anything for him.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's so tough because if you go with now, what's the implication here? Do they have to? Is there some force that is making them?
Right.
Because if it's making them against their will, then Batman will do it. But like if it's like a Civil War type of scenario,
Right.
Batman's not taking off his man.
No.
He'll be like, fuck you guys, come get me.
Right.
And what are they gonna do? He just won't dress as a bat for a little while and just be a billionaire.
Just
Okay,
be
I'm on
American
a yacht.
Psycho.
But that would disrupt there's too many rogues in each gallery, which I think would force a lot of these villains not only to hunt down the hero, they would, of course, and whoever they cared about.
Right, that part, the
But
family.
now you're trained, sure, you can go fight them, but you never know when the threat's coming.
Right.
That's horrifying. That's a horrifying. And we saw that again in Civil War. They did it really well, but not the movie, the book, comic books.
Yeah, right.
Read comic books. They did it really well handling that and why people were so opposed to it and everything. But yeah, that would be a fucking annoying one.
Yeah, that'd be a shit show. I mean, even Watchmen. You think of Watchmen, like all those, kind of heroes. That'd be a fucking mess too.
Would we? But let's get existential on it. Would we still view them as heroes if a god becomes a man? Do they lose all of that? Maybe intimidation. Like Batman's definitely intimidation.
Yeah.
Superman's hope because you're like he's a god. He's the perfect one of all of us. And then when you find out he's just a journalist who grew up on a farm.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Where's your thinking going with that?
I think it takes away from it. I mean, it's just like, finding out who Oz is behind the curtain. You enjoy not knowing who's behind the curtain. And I think once you do that, it just takes away some of the magic, I guess, and mysticism of who they actually are.
Do you think there's a hero that it wouldn't take away from if you found out? I think Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I think she gets the amount of respect that a woman, and I'm not saying this boastfully by any means, but I think she gets the amount of respect as a woman that a man would get if you didn't see him as an all-powerful hero.
Right.
It's so weird to me that like if those three are in the room, well, first of all, Gal Gadot is standing in a room with me. Once I pick up my jaw, and not to objectify the woman, but like once I pick up my jaw because she's like God's artwork, it's right for like the ultimate objectification. I would put it, snap it back up and then be like, okay, Batman, what special powers do you have? I've got a batarang. I have a car. I'm super rich.
Okay.
So you're a dude, essentially.
Yeah, right.
I could just shoot right now. If I was a villain, I could just shoot right now. And if these two weren't here, you'd be dead. Well, no. You're not faster than a speeding bullet because there's only one of them and he's standing next to you. So Batman, tell me again why she's not as good of a superhero as you are. And she can do everything he can do. And that would be that whole conversation.
That's fair.
Like you're sneaky and you're strong and shit. Good luck.
Glad you got Alfred.
What's Batman's true superhero? Like super humanity?
Yeah.
Like he's just like an extra person. Like, he can like he can outdo everyone, every other human on the planet. Fucking great if you live on our planet.
Right.
You don't live on our planet. You live on Superman's planet. Who are you? Who cares?
Right.
You have a bat conscience. You're really good at this. You have a good moral code. Good luck, Batman. Bullshit. All right. Let's get to these weird fucking movies we watched.
Oh yeah.
We're here to review. That's right. The Scene Snobs are going to review Saltburn and The Hunger Games, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Yeah. So these are two interesting movies, Paul. I chose Saltburn because I had heard it was, and we're going to get to our ratings and such, but like as we get into the talk, we'll start with Saltburn. I watched this one because I've just been hearing really good things, and I liked a lot of the actors that are in it. And I was like, okay, well, and I liked Emerald Fennell who directed it. I loved Promising Young Woman, so I was like, all right, let me Oscar bait. It's
right.
I'm hearing great things. I love the actors. I like the director. I love the last movie. So hits on all cylinders. So I sit and I watch it, and I'm like, I mean, the actors are good. It's a beautiful film. Well, it's kind of dark toned, but like it was a beautiful film.
Right.
Why do I give a shit about not terrible rich people, just kind of shitty people
Right.
being completely decimated and destroyed by an asshole who I don't like anyway?
Right.
So that's my stance on Saltburn. I will get. I mean, I want to hear what you think, Paul. Let's talk about Saltburn. What do you think, Paul? What is Saltburn to you?
So I thought it was going to be more like, what was that movie with Matt Damon? The
Talented Mr. Ripley.
being Mr. Thank you. That's what I essentially went in. I was gonna like, it's a remake of this, essentially.
Yeah.
And I watched and I was like, oh, okay, well, it's not that, and it's not that clever. Okay, and it just kind of had little baby heartbeat the whole time. Like I wouldn't say it went flatline for me, but it definitely was like, okay, the scenes are kind of cool. Some of the dialogue's fun. I guess some of the narrative was believable. Some of it was absolutely not. Like I get the dude borrowed his bike, but then you're going to befriend him and you're going to tell him about your parents and how they have addiction problems and this and that. Fuck no. Like you're not going to do that. Especially rich kids aren't going to share shit like that. They're going to keep that to themselves.
See, I don't know. I always assumed like rich kids would never shut the fuck up whenever I knew them. Like the poor kids wouldn't tell them anything. And they're like, I'm not going to tell you where I'm from or where I live or what I do. Like, you're going to use that against me. Rich kids would always seem to not shut the fuck up about their parents' problems because they're whiny.
Maybe it's just because I'm not rich. Maybe that's why. Fuck my this, man. What can I tell you?
Oh, shut up. I'm not letting that become a thing. No, James says Saltburn was one of those conflicting movies where it simultaneously got better and worse as it went on. That's a great, go check out James' MCD reviews. You don't have to, not because of what he just said, but I do fully agree. Like, go check him out because he's a cool guy, and I like his reviews. I agree with him there. It did, like, when it started out, I was like, all right, I didn't love the cinematography in the beginning, so like it kind of threw me, but I was like, I really liked Promising Young Woman. I could see this going in a really great place. And it seems like it was going to be one of those types of thrillers, like where he gets close and then maybe something happened. And then it took that turn and you're like, oh shit, something happened. And then it was like nothing happened until like he was just like, that's right though, I did it. And it's like, what did you do? What did you, like, I know what you did. I know you're active. Like, there were some people that you did some dastardly things to, which I will not say because this is a spoiler-free review. And I won't even tell you about that bathtub, scene, which didn't need to fucking be there.
No. Oscar grab.
So I'm like, there's a lot of things about this movie. I will give the kid who played, I think his name's Jacob Eldori. He played Dexter. Was it Dexter? Was it the main character? The main rich kid, the one he friends.
Yeah, I think that's his name.
And I won't take anything against Barry Keogh. I think he's great, and he did a great job in this role. I just didn't like the character. Like, there wasn't even it was a protagonist that didn't even have a sympathetic nature to, like, well, maybe he had a tough upbringing. And then you find out, no. And, like, this, that, and the other thing. It's just like, so what is he? Like, why? What is his? He has no motive through any of this. And you're like, but it's like nothing happens till the end, and he reveals, like, I was behind it all. And it's like, fate? God, are you God now? Like, what's going on? Let's see what James says. Which was more insane, the bathtub scene or the grave? The grave scene was fucking weird, man. You know what's funny? I watched both of these movies back to back.
Yes, you did.
Because I needed to take. I watched a Hunger Games movie to forget this movie. And we're going to do our ratings real quick on this one. So this is what Paul and I gave it. I gave it a 3, and Paul gives it a 3.5 for Saltburn. I don't know why it's nominated for anything. It's good enough to be middle of the road, but after seeing Promising Young Woman again, and I'm not saying it was the be all end all, but it was such a fantastic movie. To follow it up with something like this, I was like, it just, I didn't like it at all. And then the one character I did like, which was Carey Mulligan's character, because anytime she hits the screen, and they kill her, and they kill her off camera in a fucking line. They make her feel like she's part of the family, and then like, and I'm gonna ruin this for you because it's in the beginning of the film. It makes nothing. None of the drama even happened yet. None of the drama even happened yet. We didn't even get to the beginning of the drama, which doesn't start until about an hour into this movie, maybe more.
Yeah.
So it's just literally, it's not even like a fun like friendship tale or a fun like, oh, they're becoming stronger friends in the first hour, and that's what's happening. And he finds out he lies, and then it goes haywire. That's not what happened. He goes away for the summer with this guy and lies to him, and is weird. the whole fucking time. So I don't know. I just got this one really bugged me. This one really bugged me now. I might have to lower it. It might be 2.5. So it's worth it, but I wasn't a great follow up to her first movie, which blew me out of the water. And it's just a weird tale. I just didn't really enjoy. The acting was good, but if you have a weird fucking story, I don't care about the acting as much.
Right.
You know, so all right, let's get off this one. Let's go to I know you're super excited about this one. Let's talk about it.
I just watched it for the 14th time this past weekend with my parents.
I hate the fact that you've seen it this much. All right. Well, why don't you kick us off? Tell us what it's about.
Hunger Games. It's good. No, so it's a prequel to Hunger Games, talking about how President Snow becomes his character, President Snow, and about how Hunger Games first started out and how they're trying to make it a bigger thing because contrary to what you see from the Hunger Games with Katniss, it was kind of going out. It was kind of a fad. It was kind of more of an experiment, if you will, to see if people actually enjoyed the Hunger Games and about them trying to figure out what the Hunger Games actually are.
Mm-hmm. I love that explanation. To go a little bit more into the President Snow side, yes, he is the main focus of it. But there is a young lady from District 12 as well, played by Rachel Ziegler, who is a contestant that he has to lead. He's like the Woody Harrelson character from the first one to this little girl.
He's a mentor.
Whatever.
It was awesome.
Sure.
It was awesome, Mick. It was so good.
I believe it. No, all right, let's just get into it then, because now we know what it's about. We get the idea of the Hunger Games. What did you think of this movie, Paul? Why have you seen this movie so much? And then I'll talk about my feelings.
I'm really worried about your feelings now. But I just was really blown away by I forgot his name already, and I looked it up before we started, but there's been a lot. The main actor that portrays President Snow as, just a younger Snow. Never seen that actor before, and I was blown away by seeing his character development. How he really portrayed, how you kind of see him as like very optimistic, and then one bad thing kind of happens and you see him kind of go a little dark for a minute, and then he's okay, then another dark big betrayal type thing, and it's like, oh, and then towards the end you're like, oh shit, okay, all this led up to making him. And I thought he did a phenomenal job just being able to show how you went from this optimistic, almost like an Anakin, if you will, to Darth Vader. Like, it was just very vividly done, in my opinion, how he did the character. I was blown away by the story.
I really like the kid, and again, I've seen the other movies. I'm not a fan of the Hunger Games, so I'm not going to defend it on my end. But I'm also not going to shit talk it either, if that makes sense, because that's just not right either. So watching this one and seeing how Snow started, it was nice to kind of get that backstory, which I didn't think I was going to even care about, but I did. This actor playing this character kept me intrigued the whole time. I will tell you, I didn't love Rachel Ziegler in the movie. Beautiful voice. She acted really well. I couldn't stand her accent. That's fair. With the part she was trying to play with her accent, which was, I kind of got the idea, because she's Gypsy Rose is she Gypsy or something in it or whatever?
Yeah, she's part of one of those gypsy tribes.
Yeah, something like that, like a gypsy. Like basically how she described it is what we would know as like we have called gypsies, just kind of traveling, and they got stuck in District 12, I guess is where I came. So which by the way, by the time you get to the third act of this, you're like, District 12 is like one of the most beautiful fucking places ever. Right. It has plenty of land you can farm, but whatever, that's just me. So regardless of all of that, I'm watching this goddamn movie for 3 hours, and Paul, it's all because of you. But I will say, out of all the Hunger Game movies, I would watch this again. I didn't dislike it. James actually says hits the nail on the head here with this comment, and I want to bring it up for that. Where is it? Songbirds. It says Songbirds and Snakes both surprised and disappointed me, and the first 2 acts were super strong, but the third act grinded to a halt. I will agree with that. The third act did, like you did, after that amazing round in the arena.
Yeah.
And to end there and to see where he goes, and even like his journey of, and this one we might get into a little bit of spoilers, because I want the ending explained to me, because if it's what I think it is, I hate this movie. But so as I'm watching this movie and you get to it, and like he finally gets, and he figures out he wants to go to District 12 and all that. From that point on, once he's in District 12, I was like, this just sucks. Viola Davis was the scene stealer. She was fantastic in this movie. I actually kind of wish they didn't focus on Ziegler and focused on her mentorship of Snow. I feel like that would have been cool. Neither here nor there. I get it. You need the Hunger Games in there. So it ends like this. I'm gonna say this, so spoiler alert for anybody watching or listening, but I have to do it because I need to talk about the end. They run away.
Mhm.
They get to a cabin. He finds the guns in the cabin. She gets real, like, kind of weird.
Yep. She
And
gets
she
really
goes,
suspect.
yeah, and she goes. So the guns in the cabin were the ones that there was an accidental shooting to the mayor's daughter, and he was the one that shot her to cover it up. So there's your, sorry, told you no spoilers. I told you the spoilers, but so he finds the guns, and that means she took them, and they're in this land. So, like, and then she goes, well, I'm just gonna go do this or whatever with her accent, runs out, and then goes and disappears, and starts messing with him, and he starts shooting out into the wilderness because all he hears is the songbirds and her voice. What the fuck happened, Paul? Make this make sense to me, because it was the dumbest ending to a movie.
So the best I could come up with, granted, I've seen it a few times, so like I've tried to be like, did he actually manage to shoot her or not? I think he actually did, in my opinion. So what I think happened is that they briefly brush over in a quick dialogue how the only reason Snow is leaving is because he knows they're going to find the guns eventually, and he'll get in trouble, and he doesn't want to be going to the captain's school, whatever, in District 2. And that's why he's leaving. So when he finds the guns, he no longer has a reason to even run away with them. And I think that's why she points it out, because then it's like, oh no, I'm screwed, but you can be fine. You just got to get rid of the guns, and then you're off free, trying to test the waters. And I think she sees in his face that, he's already changed because he's betrayed his best friend, and he's killed the mayor's daughter, and then killed that one kid that started to attack him. And I think she really realized his true colors, because I mean, at the end of the day, you can't fight who you are, and it clearly has become apparent that this is who he's becoming. So she just had to get out.
See, here's the thing. That's stupid, because I wanted it that where she was playing him the whole time, and she was doing that and had the guns put there to test to see what he would do. And I don't think he shot her.
You don't think he managed to get her that time?
I think she got away.
And I could see that too, only because all the songs that she was singing this whole time, and a lot of, her talking about Katniss and shit, that's from the Hunger Games. They're still singing those songs in those other movies. So I don't think they remembered them that many years later just because some random gypsy was singing it. I think she had continued, and that's why.
Well, yeah, and I could see it in it may be another movie or something if they do it. I don't know how this one did, but I will tell you this. There is a conspiracy theory. You want to hear it?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, because the theory states as this, that she is President Gray from, I think, District 9 or whatever, and the one Julianne Moore plays in the movie.
Okay.
And that she grew up to become president of that district, and President Gray, she was it something Gray, right? What was her first name?
Oh, I just
Gray
forgot
or whatever. Lucy Gray.
God bless.
So Lucy Gray. So the theory is that she's great, and that's why she knows how to get under Snow's skin so well. So that's
okay.
All right, let's share a rating. So I gave it a 3.5. It's okay. It's worth checking out if you like this world. It's even if you don't, it might be worth checking out. I didn't love the ending, but it is a fun journey all the way through. Paul, you went 4.5. It's a strong one.
Yeah.
What is it about?
I will tell you, I got a soft spot because I have a niece with Down syndrome. So the fact that they got an actor with Down syndrome and brought her in, I think that's awesome when movies are doing that. And I think, I'd love to see studios do more of that.
I would too. I would too. I'm not against your sentiment.
Right.
Maybe not in the Hunger Games.
Right. I was so worried when they brought her out. I was like, how are you going to kill this poor kid? And then with the whole dialogue of that's not candy, bro, I about pissed myself. I was like, holy shit.
I know, man. And listen, that's the Hunger Games. Like the Hunger Games is a watered down version of Battle Royale. So I get it. And if you watch, and I've seen Battle Royale, and I think it's a masterpiece. So I'm not against violence in a movie of that sort against any person, because it's showing the despicable nature of it.
Right.
This one was a little weird because it was like, we're going with this. So
right.
it got a little harsh, but so I gave it a 3.5. Paul gave it a 4.5. Go check it out. I think that's one to go check out. I don't know about Saltburn. Enter at your own risk on that one.
Yeah.
And then we're going to go on.
Yeah.
No, you can. Keep talking.
I was
buddy.
just gonna say that one I think should have just stayed straight stream because I know it released at some theaters around here, and I think it should just stay streaming.
Yeah, I can hear that. I can go with that. So I got a new mixed movie pick for you guys. It's from 1942. That's right, a new mixed movie pick. You guys ready for it? You want to hear this mixed movie pick? It is, and I got a story to go with it. So here we go. Your mixed movie pick for this week is Sahara, starring Humphrey Bogart. This is a fun little one. It's a war movie. It was, again, shot in 1942 during the war. Yeah, they had all the propaganda films coming out and stuff like that at the time. But this one holds a special place in my heart. So my grandfather and my uncle were in the same unit. They married sisters, each other's sisters. So that's how we're all related. Like one's a grandfather, one's an uncle. They're not brothers. So they were in the same unit. They were stationed out in California, and they were training in the desert, getting ready to go over to I believe it was North Africa at the time. And they were, they did their training. They're at night. They're at the hotel. They're drinking. They're having fun. Humphrey Bogart was filming this movie and staying at that hotel. He came down, bought them all a drink, shot the shit with them for a little bit. Well, he had a couple of drinks. He's like, all right, guys, why don't you come up to my room? I'll have a little spread put together and stuff like that. They came up. The whole room was filled with like endless alcohol and food for them. And he goes, all right, guys, I'm going to be in the room practicing my lines for shooting tomorrow night. Have anything you want. Take care of yourselves. Thanks for your service, blah, blah, blah. And it was on this movie that he was working on. So it always held like a special place in my heart. When I went with 1942, I thought this would be a fun one for you guys to go check out. If you want like a cool little war movie, Bogart's really good in it. Check out Sahara from 1942. We are at the end of the show, guys, just so you know. We have 2 more episodes of Does It Suck left before the season finale. And this week is Pure Luck, the Martin Short, Danny Glover movie. I rewatched it from the 90s. It's an interesting one. So go check it out. I'm not saying it sucks, but go check it out. And then we have Mick at Night this Friday. That's right. Come check us out this Friday. We will be live at 8 p.m. We're going to be putting on the Wheel of Absurdity. We're going to have a good time with it. If you guys are unaware, we are doing Godzilla, all of them, 16 weeks, 40 films, 1 show, a kaiju-size event. I will be watching and reviewing with some great people. So please come check it out. It's going to be a really good time. They'll be coming out each week. So just keep an eye out for those episodes. First episode will be coming out at the end of this week, and it covers not only Godzilla from 1954, but the American remake of it in 1956 with only adding Raymond Burr. And we're going to do Godzilla Raids again. So that's what we're going to be checking out and talking about in depth on this first episode. I want to say thank you guys so much for joining in, hanging out with us. Thank you to our sponsor, StubHub. The affiliate link is down below. Great place. It's going to get warm pretty soon in the next coming months. So get your tickets to your ball games, get your tickets to your comedy events, get your tickets to your show, your concerts, and more. Guys, thank you again. Make sure to head over to the Snob Society Discord. It is down below. It is open. We're having great conversations over there and more, and we're building out the community in a big way. And if you also want to take it one step further, join up on our free Patreon tier and check it out. See what we got going on. And if you want to support, we do appreciate it. All that money goes into helping us run the show. So thank you guys for all the support. Truly, truly, truly appreciate you. Paul is wearing a great shirt if you want to show him. That is our Horror Snob shirt. Thank you so much. And we have other great horror, sci-fi, movie stuff, like inspired stuff over on our store. Go to snobsmerch.com. Use promo code SNOBS to get 10% off your order. Thank you so much for hanging out. Paul, you want to say anything before we get going, my friend?
I just hope you guys have a good week, and I hope everyone made it safely through New Year's.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Guys, all right. Remember, you got to be kind to each other. You got to stay classy out there because that's very important. And also, big thing that's important is take care of yourselves. It is very important to do that. We will talk to you soon. Bye.